This place used to be everything. Work, traffic, families, all of it. At first we tried to fight them, tried to hold the streets, but the dead, they kept coming. No matter how many fell, more rose to take their place. Now, all that's left are broken buildings and the ones that walk inside them. I've been hiding, scavenging, trying to survive, but it's never enough. The food, the water, the safety, it's all running out. Every day the dead close in. I'm tired of being cornered, tired of running from them. I need to leave. Get away from the concrete tombs and monsters that haunt them. I heard whispers about what was out there. About people who left the city behind and built something new out there in the wilderness. No more scavenging from the dead, or running from them. Just the open air, trees and land. I don't know if it's real or not, but I have to believe it is. Because I'm leaving it all behind. The concrete, the chaos, the constant fear. I'm heading for the trees. Anywhere but here. If I'm gonna die, I'll die on my own terms. Because if I make it out of here, I can make it anywhere. The first step to becoming a survivalist is to prep. I'm gonna need food, water, and some building supplies. Stuff like nails will be an absolute game changer in the long run. So, let's not waste any time and start grabbing everything that we've been hoarding for the last couple of years. I just want to make sure that I have my best foot forward when starting this intense adventure. Now that my house is cleared out, it's time to scavenge what's left in the nearby homes. I doubt my neighbors will be needing their supplies anymore. Most of them didn't make it through the first wave anyways. Problem is, I've already stripped these places bare over the years, so it looks like I'm gonna have to push a little deeper into town. The few stops that I made barely turned up anything, just scraps. But there's still one good place left. The school. I can't believe I'm actually hoping to find a gun there, of all places. After poking around for a bit, I find some old canteens and a stash of useful books. That's not what I was hoping for, but it'll have to do. By the time I noticed the sun sinking behind the horizon, I knew I needed to find somewhere to bunker down for the night. The darkness brings more than just fear. It brings the undead. After spending the night slumped in a lawn chair, I'm harshly reminded of my age. My back and neck are stiff, every muscle aching. Maybe next time I'll just stretch out on the floor with those old colored gym mats. At least then I wouldn't wake up feeling like I'm already falling apart. I fill my canteens and sit down to a gourmet breakfast. Canned sardines that I fished out of the trash can. Lucky me. I've lost track of the time by now, but I've ransacked almost every locker and desk in this place. Except for one thing. The remains of someone who didn't make it. It's kinda poetic. How even in death, the dead can still help the living. This poor soul left behind something I need. A watch. By 4:30 in the morning, I'm back on my feet, pushing out into the rain-soaked streets, moving from one building to the next, trying my best to stay dry and hidden. Hours of searching, and I'd come up with nothing, until I checked the back of the old truck. And there it was. Camping materials. Jackpot. This stuff is gold. It'll make setting up a fire pit so much easier. The only problem is that it's kinda heavy and my backpack is already crammed with whatever scraps I've managed to scavenge. But these materials are a must-have. I started shifting things around, trying to make space as fast as I possibly can, when I hear it, just in time. A zombie creeping up on me. I spin to the side of the truck and take it out quietly. With a few calculated swings, I take him out. before he can even alert the rest of the horde. Crisis averted for now. With the gear finally packed, I start to slip out of town, trying to stay low and quiet. This is just one of those small victories in a world where every second is on borrowed time. This is it. We're just only 100 feet away from the edge of town. I keep low, moving slow, making sure that every step is calculated. I can't afford to attract too much attention, because things will get ugly very fast. Just as I thought that I made it through, a zombie staggers out of the foggy shadows. No time to think, I rush it, swinging hard. Eventually, after a few hits, I take it down, but before I can even catch my breath, I look up and realize I've been played. His buddies were using him as bait, and now I'm in their sights. I fall back, weaving through the trees, trying not to make any noise that would draw even more of them in. When you're being chased by zombies, there's one rule you have to remember: break their line of sight. This means dart around tall buildings, slip through narrow alleyways, or even dive into abandoned buildings. But the moment that they lose track of you, that's when you have to crouch and slow your steps. The trick isn't just escaping, it's making sure that they don't have to chase you again. But eventually I reach the riverbank. This feels like the real beginning of the journey. Out here, the air isn't so thick. I can actually breathe for the first time in a while. I feel lighter. Even with the rain coming down, it's like the weight has been lifted off my shoulders. One last stop stands between me and a fresh start, but this could either make or break everything. This place? An old bait shop. Growing up, my dad and I would always stop here before our fishing trips. It wasn't just any other bait shop though. They sold flowers too. Whenever we didn't catch anything, we'd always come back, grab some flowers for Mom, and at least we could say that we came back with something. I can't help but wonder how different things might have been if my dad had never brought me here. Strange how those small moments can shape you. But there's no time for nostalgia. I need to see if anyone's cleaned out the place. Let's hope there's still some stuff left on the shelves. I quickly take out the lone wanderer standing guard out front and start searching for a way inside. The door's locked, of course, so I try a window, and luck's on my side. It popped right open. Looks like an old employee is still on the clock. I creep over and silently clock them out for good. One glance at the shelves and I know that this stop was worth it. Fishing poles, lures, extra lines, and traps. It's all a gold mine. I grab as much as I can and begin to settle in for the night. My only option is a bare stool. My back is gonna pay for this tomorrow, no doubt. When I wake up in the morning, surprisingly, it feels fine. Maybe this old bait shop's got some magic to it after all. Or maybe it's just a bit of luck. Either way, this place saved my life. As I sat there gathering my gear, I can't help but to think about my dad. I whispered to the empty shop, "Thanks, Dad. I'm definitely missing you right about now." With every box checked on my survivalist, I step back into the woods, armed not just with supplies, but with the hard-earned knowledge of how to survive. Now, it's time to put it all to the test. The trees close in around me, the shadows long and silent. First priority, find a place to call home. Somewhere secure, where I can lay low, regroup, and stay off the zombies' radar. I decide to stick closer to the water. With all the fishing gear I've packed, it would be foolish to settle anywhere else. The river will be my lifeline, providing not just food but a sense of connection to the world I once knew. I took a deep breath. The fresh sense of damp earth and pine filled my lungs, and I began to set up my fire pit. Carefully, I arranged the stones, making sure it's secure and safe from stray sparks. With that done, I turned my attention to building shelter. It's a slow and deliberate process. Each step is a reminder of what's at stake. I gather fallen branches and logs, feeling the weight of each one as I haul them to my chosen spot. As I start nailing boards together, I lose myself in the rhythm of work. The swing of the hammer, the slice of the saw. Each strike brings me closer to becoming a true outdoor survivalist. I'm not just constructing a roof over my head. I'm building a sanctuary, a place where I find solace amidst the chaos. But I know this is just the beginning. The story is far from over, and out here, danger lurks around every corner. I can't let my guard down. Each nail driven into the wood is a step towards survival, but I must remain vigilant. The wilderness is as unforgiving as it is beautiful. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and join this ever-growing community. I apologize for a 9-month-long radio silence. Life is very difficult right now, and I just wanted to make a video to remind you guys that although I'm busy, I still haven't forgotten about any one of you. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon in the next one.